morning. Tonight, we begin by remembering longtime Cleveland radio talk show host Mike Trivisonno.
The popular, controversial radio personality was 74 years old. Colleagues tell 3 News he collapsed today at home and died just hours before he was set to host his afternoon show. Many are reacting to the news tonight, including Governor DeWine, tweeting in part, quote, "Triv was one of a kind, a man who would ask tough questions, but who also had a big heart," end quote. Lena Lai has more.
Is that good news or bad news? I don't know. Call me in 3 years. I'll let you know.
It was his no-holds-barred style that made Mike Trivisonno a fixture in Cleveland radio for more than 30 years. Beloved, yet polarizing. Boorish, yet big of heart.
Yeah. My sympathy to all you guys.
Fans and colleagues filled the airways of WTAM 1100 with tearful tributes.
He talked about his 10th grade education, okay? Well, number one, he was smarter than a fox. And to reach the heights of a career that he did, Triv truly went from underdog to wonder dog.
Trivisonno joined WTAM as a sports radio host in 1996. 2 years later, he went on to host the Mike Trivisonno Show in the afternoon drive, where he would remain for the next 25 years.
Triv was a common man that spoke a common theme of we're the underdogs, we're living in Cleveland.
His show evolved into more than just sports, reaching into politics and current events, which would often spur his best-known saying,
"Hey, it's Triv, and I'm living in a world I don't understand."
Mike was more than just sports talk. He realized that there was a broader audience when he would talk about more subjects. And there was nothing he was afraid to take on.
And many times stirring controversy. In 2018, a campaign to cancel his show following derogatory comments about Christine Blasey Ford during congressional hearings for then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Trivisonno often accused of misogyny and bigotry.
Think about this for a second.
But there could be no doubt of his generosity to the community, raising millions of dollars for local charities, including his annual Coats for Kids campaign.
I don't think people really realize the magnitude and the gifts that he brought back to all the people in northeastern Ohio.
Trivisonno is survived by his wife and 4 children. The voice of Cleveland, the self-proclaimed Mr. Know-It-All. Mike Trivisonno was 74 years old. Lena Lai, 3 News.